By the time you watch this, I'll be 30. But I'm filming this in advance because I'm
professional.
As I have followed Jenna Marbles religiously for the past 10 years or so, I felt inspired by something she did when she turned 30. And she made a video called 30 Life Lessons I Learned in 30 Years. And I thought I would do the same. I think it's a nice way to sum up just what you've been through in 30 years, trying to put that on paper and make it nice, brief, and sort of, I have 30 life lessons for you. I hope you'll stick around. I will try to do them in 30 different places. Number one, it's okay to like things that aren't cool to like. In particular, for this point, because I'm gonna reuse this point later on for some other things that you might like that aren't cool. Birthdays. I feel like it's getting more and more cool to not like your birthday, to not want to celebrate it, to not want to do anything special about it. It's like it's not cool to be excited about it or to want to celebrate it. But if you are that, it's okay to be that. I am that. I love birthdays. I love celebrations. I get excited. I anticipate it. And yes, I do get my hopes up, and I also do get whatever crazy anticipation sometimes, but that's okay. I think it's a part of keeping a bit of a childlike mindset. So that's point number one. It's okay to like things that aren't cool to like. You can still like them. Hey. Don't feed your cat too much fish. Now, this is a bit of a strange one, but I've had cats all my life. When I was a kid, I had a kitten, and I, on that particular day, really wanted to go to the local swimming pool, I guess. And I couldn't because I was sick, and my mom was like, I'm sorry, but you can't go. And I was throwing a tantrum crying. I had just fed my cat before then, a full tin can of fish, and I was crying because I was so sad that I couldn't go to the freaking swimming pool. And then I picked up the cat to comfort me. It was lying on my chest, and I was like so melodramatic holding the cat. It was just looking up at me like, I got you, I understand, this is terrible. And then it vomited fish vomit all over my chest and my stomach. I stopped crying then. Don't feed your cat too much fish. Also, don't be a melodramatic brat, but start with the fish. Feedback is extremely difficult. I would go so far as to saying it's an art form. That's what I have to say about that. The more I look naked, the more transparent you can be about your emotional reactions at any given time, the more calm you'll feel in general. So the more transparent you can be about what's happening inside you right when something is happening, the quicker you can solve whatever's going on and have a more enriching conversation with the person that it's happening with. That's what I believe. You can take it or you can leave it. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a scooter. And with a scooter, you can drive away from your problems. Have you ever looked at yourself in pictures from a while ago, maybe from your childhood or when you were a teenager, and thought, I should have been so happy then, I had it so and so, or I looked so and so, or I did so and so, I should have enjoyed it more, I should have done this, this and that. I mean, I've done this, knowing that that's how you probably look at things that happened in your past, you know?
Hindsight is 20/20.
Knowing that, how would that influence you now, you know? If you know that one day you'll look back at this moment and think the same thing, what would you change now? These types of sunglasses look cool when you put them like on your nose, but look what happens when you put them where they're like, I guess, supposed to be. The best advice I have, if you're not feeling so good or you're feeling low, is to do something for others. Not necessarily going out of your house, you know, if you really want to stay in bed and not do anything, maybe you're feeling really low, but donating or sending someone a nice message or giving someone a phone call or drawing them a drawing or sending flowers. Just doing something nice for others, I promise you, it will make you feel better about yourself, and it will make you feel like you did something in your day that was good, even if you don't feel so good about anything else today. I think we should make a conscious effort to keep childhood friends in our lives, because I think childhood friends are magical. They help us remember how we became the people we are, and also they can humble us a lot because they can remind us of a time when we weren't as finalized or put together as maybe we are now. And they can help you remember that. They can help us remember times when we would wear silly things, even sillier things than this, when we would date silly people and have a lot of fun doing all of that together with them. And that's why I think childhood friends are magical, and we should make an effort to keep them in our lives, however that might look like for you. No, but seriously, money can't buy happiness is a very easy thing to say if you're financially secure. Have you seen the movie Parasite? If you haven't, do it.
My best friends are the ones I laugh the most with.
The softer you can be in the judgment of others, the kinder you can be towards yourself. Here are some better questions you can ask yourselves besides, am I skinny or beautiful enough? I think I have to put on my hater blockers for this one. Oh, you see the sweat there? What are my interests? What do I like to do? Is there something I'd like to know about that or the world in general? What general questions do I have in life? How can I contribute to the lives of others? What is a good friend? Am I that? Could I do more to be that? What do I like about myself that isn't about external things? Look at him. I finally understand why people say being a teenager is hard. When I look back on that time in my life now, it's tough, you guys. Mostly because you don't really know yourself yet. And maybe it takes that whole process to get to know yourself, but you're allowed to design your life the way you want it to be. If you didn't know that you're supposed to want certain things, how would you do your life? What would you want to do in it? And are there certain experiences that you would plan for or go for if you didn't know that you were supposed to do anything? And if it was okay to want something different, what might that look like? And if you knew that it didn't have risk attached to it, what would you dream of? Just experiment with it. Maybe write it down. I think it's a nice way to challenge your thinking and challenge what you're doing right now. Maybe you're happy with it as it is, but it is okay to change it. And it's okay to want to change it, even if you're not doing it right now. But to see it and put it down on paper and maybe talk about it with a friend or a partner and exploring it. All of that is completely free and doesn't involve doing it, but it can help you be more clear on if there are things you would change, what they might look like, how dramatic they are, and if they feel like something you really want or if it's something you're just playing around with a little bit. I think that prince and princess jeans are a real thing. I wish that we could walk around in ball gowns and dress up and have
Balls.
balls. It's okay to change, and it's okay to want other things than you originally imagined that you would want. It's okay to change. The most valuable asset that you own is time, because that's the one thing that at the end of the day you cannot get back, exchange, or retrieve if you've already spent it. Money is different that way. Material things are different that way. I would encourage you to start thinking about time as an actual asset in your life and assessing how you are utilizing that asset. That to me was a big sort of game changer in how I live my life and I do my
thing.
You know what? I was gonna say something really nice and profound about animals, but then the most gigantic wasp I've ever seen climbed into that thing. And I suddenly don't feel like making that one. So this life lesson is just stay the fuck away from these guys, I guess. Peeing your pants laughing is a real thing. I'm not gonna name any names, but through my childhood, it's happened many times. Yeah. How you enjoy life might look different from what you see in commercials. Be curious on yourself and on how you enjoy life. It might look the same, but it might look different. Be curious. Not fitting the traditional mold of what pretty or skinny looks like is not the worst thing. it's not even that interesting down the line. What I mean by that is that you don't make your best friends that way. You don't find your closest relations that way. You don't find your lasting love that way. It's not in the end at all how we select our favorite people, the people that we hold the most dear. We don't select on those criteria at all. It's an entirely different set of criteria, and that's what I mean when I say it's not interesting, because it's not. At the end of the day, you would rather talk to someone interesting, someone passionate or knowledgeable or just entertaining with a sense of humor than you would with someone who is only fitting some sort of exterior model of what someone desirable should look like.
Like me.
Hi. How are your 30s going?
I sleep too little and that's it.
Wow, deep. Great contribution. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Love you, boo-boo.
Don't leave bananas in the bottom of your backpack, or don't put them there to begin with. I did that once and I forgot about it. And about a week later, I was wondering why it was smelling so weird in the bottom of my bag. Just like put it in something that you can easily take in and out. Plastic bag, you know, and don't make eye contact while doing this. There's good and bad hair products. There just is. And once you've tried good stuff, it's very, very hard to go back. Oh hey, didn't see you there. Conflict is inevitable, so you might as well get used to the thought that you will have to face some confrontations in your life. But just as well as conflict is inevitable, so should honesty and forgiveness be. If you think about confrontation as not necessarily lasting or traumatic or necessarily offensive or attacking in nature, but think about it more as a natural back and forth between sometimes needing to talk very directly with a person about something and letting things kind of come and go. Sometimes you need to be able to go in that other direction in order to not become resentful of repeated behaviors or feel like you're not respecting yourself or meeting your own needs and desires. Sometimes you need to have those talks, but they can be handled in many different ways. And I think if we get more comfortable with that honesty and more ready to forgive ourselves and others, then it won't be so traumatic or suspenseful or tense for us to have to do it in the first place.
Hey there.
The flavors you grow up with are wildly unpalatable to others. That's not to be rude. Actually, on the contrary, it's to say that this is a great reminder on how to respect and get to know other cultures, and also how to know our own and put ourselves into perspective. The things I love growing up with, the things I love to eat and do, will be completely different from what someone else would, and that's okay. If we can get curious about it rather than defensive, then the world becomes a bit bigger every time. You might even try something new that you really enjoy. Like, I come from Denmark, we eat pickled herring, so we're not oblivious to the fact that not all people find that just a savory delight, you know? But the thing is that what you find delicious yourself and what someone else finds delicious, like sheep's brain, you know, in the Faroe Islands, or haggis, the level to which you can't fathom that that's delightful and delicious to someone, that's the exact same the other way around. And that's the beauty of it, that it becomes very easy for you to understand how that other person is feeling about your pickled herring when you look at their sheep brain and you find the same thing. So you can actually already start to see the humanness in the other by seeing, oh, they're having the exact same reaction to something that I am. And that goes for so many things in life, that you can be complete opposites on something, but the bewilderment that you have towards the other is the exact same as the other has to you. In that way, you share an experience, even if you don't agree.
Adults are just grown children.
Your taste buds change over time. Capers, olives, all that jazz, give it some years. Your taste buds, they change. Just try new stuff every once in a while, I promise you. It's okay to like things that other people don't like, part 2. Dressing up is fun, and I like it a lot. And it's okay to like it. And it's not necessarily very cool, but it's okay. We're finally back inside. I'm sweating, the camera is crooked, and we're at the last one. And the last one is, I tried to make something like light-hearted, but that didn't really go so well. I don't know what it is. I'm still finding my groove, my vibe. But the last one that I want to add is that aging is a blessing. I really mean it. I'm so happy to be turning 30. I think it's amazing and I can't wait to see what 30 will be like. I loved my 20s. They were quite an adventure and turbulent at times, but they were also amazing. And I know myself better now than I ever did before, and I feel more comfortable now than I ever did before. So how can it not be a blessing? And I'm very excited to see what 30 will bring. And even though I won't be having the party that I had planned for and saved up for and been looking forward to, I'll be able to celebrate here with friends. And what more could you really ask for? I hope you have a nice day, maybe birthday, who knows? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I'm so sweaty now.
Matching.